finishing up quarter three, looking towards quarter four. Quarter three has been very interesting for us. Often people look at the market and they think the summertime's slow. Once again, as we have in many, many years, we've found that the summer months have been very busy for us. If we look at our transaction count, both for sales and rentals, have been the strongest for us for the entire year. So if I look back at the last quarter for rentals, it's again a bit like the first part of the year, and it can be quite area specific. We have a number of landlords who have started increasing their prices. So particularly for compounds where they've been full, they've had really good demand. We've seen some landlords start to increase them. In the Pearl, I would say rentals have pretty much held over the last month. A lot of incentives were given post World Cup to get towers full. Particularly, there were effectively 4 new towers and another 200 units, so about 1,000 new units came to the market in early January. So that's taken quite a while to absorb into the market. Most of that has now been absorbed. So we're starting to see some of the early incentives from the beginning of the year now being taken away and the market stabilizing. And then on for sales, we've had a lot of activity on sales as well. Prices had come down post World Cup, not dramatically at all, but maybe 5 to 10%, depending on the particular unit or the particular opportunity that was available. But we're seeing a lot more activity. And what's really nice about the market, sort of the real market has returned. So speculators were hoping to maybe make a quick profit because of the World Cup or somehow take advantage of what's going on. It's now settled, and we see just a good, solid support of domestic buyers, both Qataris and expatriates, about 50-50 in the market now between the two that we see. And we're starting to see interest in other countries as well, looking to invest in Qatar, something we didn't really see in the past. That's now starting to increase. With the really favorable laws around residency that the government has introduced, we're starting to see a lot more activity on that front now. So looking forward in quarter four on the rental prices, I don't expect much of a change at all. As kids have returned to school, so the parents have come back obviously, and we're seeing the population increasing dramatically. As far as just, when I say population increasing, people being back in the country. But I don't really predict much of a change. If anything, maybe some more of the incentives will gradually be taken away that used to be there. But I don't see either a drop in prices, nor do I see a growth in prices. If I look at sales prices in the next quarter, again, I don't see things changing. There is really strong demand, but because of an increase in interest rates, particularly US dollar interest rates, which affects the real, obviously, that has increased mortgage payments. So that is maybe holding back any potential growth in prices over the next quarter. So I think things will be pretty stable, and I don't see any indicators in the market why prices will go down. Some of the people listening right now may know, and others perhaps not, that I was a banker for 18 years before I set up NelsonPark Property. So I read with great interest the new regulations from the Qatar Central Bank, basically opening up the mortgage market much more dramatically than in the past. I think some really wise steps, frankly, which will spur on the market, allow a lot more borrowers to have access because of a change in the ability to use other sources of income to be considered, for a longer tenor of mortgages, for a longer age group, and also the lack of requirement that a property has a title deed. I think all of these new regulations that the central bank has enacted can only be favorable for the market. So from my perspective, again, as an ex-banker, I really appreciate how that affects things and how it affects customers being able to borrow. And I think that can only be positive. In my early commentary about the market going forward, again, I don't see prices going up. And I think if I look at the effective interest rates, which can sometimes have a negative effect, but the positive effects of the new regulations from the central bank, I think those will balance each other out. But in the long term, will provide a lot of stability to the market now that more people can borrow to buy what is often people's biggest investment in buying property. One of the things I'm really interested in that wasn't the case before is that now people that live outside of Qatar and don't have residency can now apply for a mortgage. Now this is a new development in Qatar, which is really positive. From time to time, we do get buyers looking at the market, and they've always only been able to be cash buyers. So they had to pay for the full purchase price of the property. They couldn't take a mortgage. So now that foreign buyers or people that don't live in Qatar can effectively take a mortgage by paying down 30% on the down payment and taking the remainder amount as a mortgage. This is really positive for the market, and I think a lot more people will begin looking at Qatar as this information becomes more widely known. When looking at what the government's doing now, well, it has been doing for years, frankly, but continues to look at ways of diversifying its income away from just purely gas exports and looking at diversifying the economy, that can only be a positive thing for the country and for the real estate market overall. The more diversified your economy it is, the stronger it can be, bringing in other sectors around healthcare, education, and other sectors that the government's really focusing on. They're doing a lot of work regarding entrepreneurship and encouraging people to start their own business, around consulting. Qatar Financial Center have done a lot of work of really enticing other companies from overseas to come into Qatar. Those can only be positive signs for the country. The more and more the country is diversified away from a major source of revenue in the gas exports is only really a positive thing. So how do I see that affecting real estate? Again, diversification is a strong thing that you want to see in the market, and the more diversified the economy is, the better it can withstand ups and downs from different factors. So I'm really pleased to see that happening and continue to happen under the vision of Sheikh Tamim, and I look forward to seeing the positive changes that occur in the future. I think that's a question that I think I've had every year for the last 14 years, and I'm sure that real estate agents have had really since time began. As new developments happen in technology, when I started my professional career, there was certainly it was in Canada, and real estate agents had what was known as the Blue Book, which was every Friday the MLS would release a book of all the listings. There was no internet, there was nothing accessible, that wasn't possible. And so when the internet came on, it was, that's the end of real estate agents. And whenever there's a new technology, it's often put out there that may be the end of agents. I think there will always be a need for agents in the market. There'll always be a need for that personal touch. I think I heard a comment the other day which I thought was really, really accurate and kind of shared a view that I've began to adapt. And it's not, I don't see agents being replaced by AI, but an agent that doesn't use AI will be replaced by somebody that does. So AI certainly has a strong part of our future. We're already using it. In fact, we're using it to help us write listings. We're using it to help us write copy from time to time. And I think we'll begin using it more in the future in regards to online customer service, to be able to respond to client queries quickly. So we'll be using that more and more in the future. As I was talking to somebody the other day about if you had, let's say two sisters come to us, and one sister talks to one agent, one sister talks to another agent, and they may get two very different views on what's happening. The more and more we use technology, whether it's artificial or not, and we're able to give really good, accurate information on the market from two different agents in the same company, being able to share good quality information that we share as a company within our technology space, I can see that having a real benefit. And if I look at what's happening in Qatar, there's so many positive developments in regards to technology and AI, and I think you'll see more and more of that coming into Nelson Park in the future. So I've always been a big fan of technology, and we'll always continue to embrace it and see how it can help us be better agents and serve our customers better. And I strongly believe we'll always have a role with clients that want to work with individuals to help them find a place that they can live or they can invest in. It was interesting when you were asking me earlier about diversification of the market to see, part of that diversification is a lot more companies coming in, and including other real estate companies. So we see on a fairly regular basis there are new brokerages opening up from time to time. And I've always been a free market capitalist, so pleased to see that there are new companies coming to the market. And when there's greater competition, it's better for consumers. There's greater choice, more competitive pricing. So it's always good for the consumer that there's lots of competition in the market. What do I see for us? As arguably the largest independent real estate brokerage in the country, with 14 years experience, we think one of our real competitive edges is that breadth of experience. We have the largest selection of property across all the independent brokers, so we can cover people's needs, not just in, say, the Pearl or in West Bay, but really all of Doha and stretching out to other places outside of Doha as well. So I think that's a big competitive advantage we have. We have a very large team, multilingual from 20 different countries our team hails from, so multi-language skills, multicultural skills all benefit us. And then what we've done in 2023, in the last week, we've opened our office in Dubai, which just again provides another source of opportunities for some of our clients here who want to invest there, or indeed for clients in Dubai, they're looking to invest in Qatar, that we open that up. And this is something, along with our office in London, where we established the company in the first part of the year. We're really the only company in Qatar that has a office here, operating branch in Dubai, and a new company that we've established in London to take care of people's needs. So I think that's a major competitive advantage we have moving forward for the company. Another thing that we've started doing actually last year, but we're really making a big push on this year, is at open houses. We're the first brokerage, in fact, the only brokerage for a long period of time to do open houses, which gives us a great opportunity to have a property available for clients to come in anytime during a specific time period, come and look at the property. This is something that no other broker in Doha has been doing, although a few of our friends have joined us recently. So welcome to the party for those that have joined late. But we think a lot of our clients, both buyers and sellers, have valued that and will continue to lead the market, not only with open houses, but with new initiatives that are coming down the line.